It's not a Ducati, but that's a very nice thing to say. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Suzuki GS 550?
No, that's not as nice as Ducati. You might have wanted to go with Ducati. Suzuki. Mr. Dupuis?
BMW.
Specifically?
F650 GS.
And the year?
It's 2007.
There you go. That's true. It is a 2007 BMW F650 GS. Because I knew you.
Is that a single cylinder?
Yes.
It is.
It's a thumper, and it makes a beautiful sound. Okay, and I'm sorry, now we're running out of time, and I could talk about my motorcycle and the Patriots all day, but let's talk about conditionals instead. Okay, so conditionals, this is how you're going to use them, all right? If captain equals Picard, echo, make it so number one. Else if, so this is how you keep going, okay? This is, you can say if, else, or you can, if you're going to put ones in between, you say if, else if, else if, else if, else if, else. Okay? Else if captain is equals, or is equivalent to Kirk, 2 to beam up. Else, if, now what will happen here? Else, but there's no test. Echo, please state the nature of your medical emergency.
So if neither of those is true, it's gonna give us please state the nature of your
Exactly.
medical emergency.
If it's not Picard and if it's not Kirk, it will give you the last value because there's no test there. So now it's like, and this will happen once it's satisfied, it's satisfied. So let me. This is the same slide, so I'm gonna give you the same information. Okay, this is the Boolean example. Now I've set the variable captain equal to Janeway. So when this runs, what will be printed? Please state the nature of your medical emergency. Okay, there's an error in this code. Does anyone see it? I'll give you a hint. Just like in the for each loop, logic is
You're missing a bracket.
missing a bracket. At the bottom here, this opens and it doesn't close. Everything in PHP is put in the wrapper of the parenthesis, right? That's how you say start your logic, end your logic. And in this case, we started logic, we ended logic. We started logic, we ended logic. We started logic, and we didn't end the logic. And because I don't know who said it first, I can't give a book for that, I'm sorry. But you get like a book from my heart. Okay, and there's your missing semicolon alert. If this was a single equal sign, what would happen?
Captain would become equal to Picard.
Captain would be Picard. You'd set captain equal to Janeway, then you'd say if captain, and you'd set it equal to Picard, and it would always resolve to Picard, no matter what you set it to originally. It would overwrite it, okay? And this will make you crazy and keep you up till 3 in the morning. Okay, so we were gonna use this, but we're gonna skip this for time because we haven't talked about functions, and for some reason today it's taken me longer than it usually does. Okay, so quote him.
Hello, my name is Nick Montoya. This is my father. Prepare to die.
Oh, that was good. That's awesome. Okay, how many people have read the book and seen the movie? Okay, you get bonus geek points. All right, functions. Functions encapsulate code that does a specific task. And then a function can be called whenever that task needs to be performed. Your code can just be one long line of code. That you can do that, the computer doesn't care. But what we do to make it work faster and also to make it organized, and to some extent for necessity, is that we group functionality together. Okay? So if there's a task that we want to do, that when we're done with the task, we're going to move on to something else. We'll put them together, okay? So here's an example. This double slash is just another way of making comments, okay? You saw the asterisk slash, okay? This is a way of making comments. So I have made the variable kill him equal to whatever that function returns, okay? You can make variables equal to strings, equal to whatever. In this case, this function is six-fingered man is going to return a value. When it's all done with its work, it's going to say, here you go, here's my answer. and the variable kill him will now hold that answer. See? So rather than set kill him equal and then write out all of the logic so that you get it, this way you put it in a handy little package. So kill him. Now, if kill him, right? So depending on what the outcome of that function was, right? If kill him, echo, want to do it first again?
Oh. Really?
Okay, at the end, we'll come back to that. Okay, echo, hello, hello, right? And the rest of it. So what happens is, when you call a function, which is what I'm doing here, is six-fingered man, it's going to look in your code to find the function. Okay? Generally, they'll be on the bottom of the page. In most Drupal code, you will look at the code and it's just function, 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 function. That's what it is. Okay? So we've put our function on the bottom. We call it a function because that's what it is, and you have to. FYI, if you spell it F-U-N-T-I-O-N, it won't work, and you'll spend an hour trying to figure out why it doesn't work. Not that I would ever do this, but just so you know. So you have to tell it it's a function. Here's what it's called. It's six-fingered man. Here's the parameter. Number of fingers. Okay? Then, inside the function, if num fingers is equivalent to 6, return true. Else, return false. So what happens if num fingers is 17?
Nothing.
No.
False. Return
False.
false.
It will explicitly return false. Okay? And if num fingers is 6?
True.
True. So it will test and it will say false. So kill him, if it has 17 fingers, what will be the value in kill him?
False.
False.
False. Don't kill him. So then when you say if kill him, and this is short for if you say is kill him, you can say is kill him equals false, but you don't have to in PHP. You can use a shorthand. If you're only looking for true or false, you only need the variable name. Okay? So if kill him is false, then it won't execute this echo. If it's true, then it will. Okay? So I'm going to walk through this. That's called the call. That's the call to the function. That's the function itself. So it calls the function, it runs the function, then it continues on. Okay, so let's see. Include the word function, aptly name your functions just like your variables, name it what it does. It can accept, in our case we passed it one parameter, but you can give it a bunch of them separated by a comma. We could have passed it the number of fingers, the age, the gender, anything about the potential victim of the killing that we wanted to. It can return something. It does not have to return something, but it can return something. It should be used for repeated tasks, bless you, and to organize logic. And then it can be public or private, but just know that for your purposes, you probably will not run into it. Okay? Okay, so we're going to go past this because we're out of time. So rule number 4, read and dissect good code. Write code, read code. Okay, that's how you learn to code, is see how other people do it. And as a professional programmer doing this all the time, that's pretty much what I'm doing, is I read code and other people's code, write my own code, other people read my code. That's how we get better. And rule number 5, follow best practices. So Drupal best practices on Drupal.org will tell you about things like comments and pretty printing. Follow them because other people will always be looking at your code, and it makes you a more likable person. Okay? So last thing, you get 10 bonus points if you use Firefox and Chrome or Opera. You get 8 bonus points if you use Firefox and IE7, IE8, or Safari. You get 5 bonus points if you use only Firefox, if you use just one browser and it's Firefox, or Chrome. You get plus 3 points if you use IE7 or IE8, 1 point if you use Safari, and negative 3,890,745 points if you use IE6. Okay? So those are our 5 rules. Any quick questions? Mm-hmm.